Hello, and let's take a look at the markets from 1 year ago today. ArtByte. It was in at 19 Satoshi and had this nice little rally holding in, but in a clear downtrend. Its price right now is about 7 times higher. Aurora, AUR, at this point was 11,200 in a downtrend. Its price is just a little bit higher right now at 17. We're up a small 50% against Bitcoin. Bitbean has an ask price of 4 and a bid price of 3. Today the price is in at 183. Blackcoin, BLK, also in a downtrend. Ignore the 4691 number. Its price right now is practically unchanged, down a little bit, actually rather up a little bit at 31.59. It's in at 3002 at the February 27, 2017. Breakout, 2108 in a downtrend. Its current price right now is just a little higher at 28, so it's only up about 30% in the last year. Bitcoin against the US dollar. Hey, this looks pretty good. Maybe this thing might be able to break this resistance at around 1100. We're at 1200 rather. The January sell-off has been going well or correcting well. Well, price action of Bitcoin right now is a little under 10 times higher against the dollar, which means all these altcoins I'm showing you, its value is also 10 times higher from what I state. Like Bitbean is really destroying its price against the dollar. Let's look at some other ones. Like Burst at 85 Satoshi. Really wasn't much of a downtrend as it was consolidating its move here. Had a big move up to this 283 handle. Right now it's at 340, so it's already broken that resistance. CANN 210 back then in a huge downtrend. Current price action is near this resistance level, in near a little over 600, so 3 times better than Bitcoin, 30 times better against the dollar. Cloak, back then, it's 9 times higher right now. It's over 90,000. Back then it was 10,000. This is what February 27th looked like. The next day, ooh, it went up to 16,000. How do you do? Capricorn. Good news and bad news. The good news is that it had a decent rally from this point on. Got up to this higher end. The bad news is this thing is down over half right now, which means it's only overperforming the dollar by about 4x, so it hasn't done too well. This is what Dash was looking like. Right now it's better than double the price against where it was, 2.5 more like it times. And this one was retesting its previous level from 2016, and it shot up a huge, nice gain shortly thereafter. And here's Gigabyte. I mean, this is in a huge, massive downtrend back then. I mean, it was way up here. And if you bought up here and you held, you're doing pretty good because it's at 344, so it's pretty much double. But if you bought at 18, well, you got about a 20x gain so far. And the Dow Jones, it's not a crypto. 16,800. It's at 25,000 now. So hey, not bad, not bad. That's almost 50% against the dollar. I mean, Capricorn is doing better against the dollar, but it's still beating the dollar. Ethereum Classic was at the pretty much 0.001 handle in a massive downtrend. I mean, look at how scary this is. You come to this low, have an okay rally, and it's going to sell this much off. Why would you want to get in something like this? It's about a little over 3 times higher right now. Ethereum was showing a very good pattern as it had this low back at the end of the year. Had this double hit resistance in and around the 13 handle, just breaking it. So it looked like a good bullish point. And sure enough, it started to go higher, and it's up about 6 times higher since that point. Feathercoin, it was, or Factom, excuse me. It was in a big downtrend. It went up a bit, down a bit, so it's barely up right now. It's at the 321 handle. So it's up about 20-30%, which means it's only up about 12x against the dollar. And then we have gold, which was $12.50. Right now it's at $13.15. So small mathematics. A little more than 50 plus a little more than 17, 68. 68, that would work out to about 5-6% against the dollar. Okay, not as good. Okay, this Komodo just came out. It's at 81.66. Maybe it'll go higher. Well, of course it did. But it's not up that much. It's up about 4 to 5 times higher right now. Litecoin is just what I would call a dead chart back then. I mean, nothing but a major downtrend. And at 003. Well, it's up over 6 times that number right now. Okay, cash was in a downtrend over the last few days and had a nice little uptrend over the last half year or such. Price was 706 Satoshi. It's in at around 23 now. So it has done better than triple against Bitcoin, or a little over 30 times against the dollar, so not too shabby. PivX, what a beautiful setup we see here. Big resistance in at around 2,500 Satoshi. Nice pullback, consolidating nice above this area. And on this day, it just broke above this level of resistance. So pricing at 4,000. Currently right now, it's up about 12, 13 times higher. So well more than 100 times against the dollar. So it's done really well. Another one of these like penny stocks, if you call it, red coin, RDD, and get 2 3s cost. I mean, one of the strategies you could do with these is try to get the lower end of the prices, even buy at 2, sell at 3, or buy here, try to unload it like at the 6, 7, 8 level. Of course, anyone who would have bought this and held this now has some pretty decent gains because the price is in at 89 Satoshi. Now the price of silver is getting crushed against the dollar, down a little more than 10%, as it's now around 16 and change, which means the amount you can buy with these cryptocurrencies compared to this point, much, much higher today. Then we have Steam, which is just in a monstrous downtrend. I mean, look at how far this thing fell. Well, the line here represents its current price at 33, so it's done a little bit better than 3 times, or 30x against the dollar. Not bad, pretty good, but not bad. Here we have Via. I always thought this was a place to travel. It's a travel vehicle, meaning a train. That's Via Rail, a train in Canada. No, but this is a coin. It was 3,000 before. This downtrend looks a little scary. It got to this rally, but has it went down too much? Well, it was 3,000 then. Now it is over 8 times higher against Bitcoin. Vertcoin in a big, big downtrend. 3,500 Satoshi. It was around 10, and it's like lost like 2/3 of its value. Well, the number starts with the 3 today in its price, but instead of 4 zeros, there's 3. It's at 38,000, or up about 11 times. I mean, this one was down, and it's not up 11 times right now. It hasn't done that good. What do you expect from a market this bad in a downtrend? No 11x gain for NEM. No, closer to like 7 or 8 times, because it's at around 3,650 right now. This Monero chart, it's kind of neutral. You have this big move up, decent move down, but unlike all the other cryptocurrencies and bear markets, this was holding pretty good. The price 0.01, it's under 0.03, so it's almost done 3 times better than the price of Bitcoin. So it's done okay. Relatively decent for a large market maybe, but just at best a little decent. After all, if you're looking to gain like 30-ish plus times more against the dollar in a year, you should be very satisfied about that. Next up is Ripple in at 468 Satoshi in a terribly crushing downtrend. Like, I mean, all those people that just bought up at around 1400 getting their butts kicked. How about the people who bought way back here at 2,160? Well, anyone who bought here and held, well, they're profiting right now. They're doing pretty decent as far as their X gain. Well, how about the people that bought way up here at like 5,000? Yeah, they're up. Because this 5,000 number represents my buy order that I want to do. And it's a very strong one. I'll talk about that in a different video. So the price back then, 460-ish change. Today, it's almost 20 times higher at 8,750. Here's Verge, and it's just another one of those like 2-3 Satoshi ones. So same strategy. It's up a decent amount higher right now, actually. But back then, it got all the way up to 55. Now look how scary this looks. Buying up here at 45, and then it goes all the way down to 2. Well, current price right now is 561. And finally, ZEC, which isn't up that much right now. It's at 0.038. And this was down a lot from its open. But with like a lot of these charts, they're going to have a lot of up and down moves. And what happened when we turned into the month of March last year is all the cryptos basically showed this pattern of just keeping on going higher. Anyone within the year from this point who were looking to sell when the price reached peaks, buy on the dips, sell on the peaks, were able to get all the dip buys, some sporadic selling here and there, some buying. And that's just the way the markets went. Today, a lot of the codes showed a very similar pattern. In that, early in December, around the first to second week, the markets rallied. They would all go well, reaching their peaks between Christmas and into the first couple of weeks into January. And then a lot of corrections. Now this one was a sideways correction, as many of the codes experienced major down corrections. As Ripple, which I already shown, which did really well, has experienced some decent moves. For last year, at this time, it was back here. Huge move higher, huge move lower, huge move higher. I'm expecting nothing more than continuous huge moves to come into place. The Fibonacci support from point A to point B was magnificent up here. And the next key point level is in at 5,000. I will most certainly look to be buying 3-4 times larger than a normal play if and when price action reaches this price point. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.